Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Shri Vrindavan Dham. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Shri Vrindavan Dham. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Shri Vrindavan Dham. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Bo, Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. Okay, I'm not going to mess with this, otherwise it'll fall. Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We can chant this together. Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudirayet nashtaprayesha bhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtaki. Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Hare Krishna. So today we're going to be, we're already on Canto 7, Chapter 2. We'll read text 27 through 40. And today's focus verse is 39. 40. Do we have another mic?
Hare Krishna. Text 27. In this regard, an example is given from an old history. This involves a discourse between Yamaraj and the friends of a dead person. Please hear it attentively.
This state, known as Ushnara, there was a celebrated king named Sujanya. When the king was killed in battle by his enemies, his kinsmen sat down around the dead body and began to lament the death of their friend.
Text 29 to 31. His golden, bejeweled armor smashed, his ornaments and garlands fallen from their places, his hair scattered and his eyes lusterless. The slain king lay on the battlefield, his entire body smeared with blood, his heart pierced by the arrows of the enemy. When he died, he had wanted to show his prowess, and thus he had bitten the lips, and his teeth remained in that position. His beautiful lotus-like face was now black and covered with dust from the battlefield. His arms with his sword and the other weapons were cut and broken. When the queens of the king of Ushinara saw their husbands laying in that position, they began crying, "O Lord, now that you have been killed, we also have been killed." Repeating these words again and again, they fell down, pounding their breasts at the feet of the dead king.
Text 32. As the queens loudly cried, their tears glided down their breasts, becoming reddened by kunkuma powder, and fell upon the lotus feet of their husband. Their hair became disarrayed, their ornaments fell, and in a way that evoked sympathy from the hearts of others, the queen began lamenting their husband's death.
Text 33. O Lord, you have now been removed by cruel providence to a state beyond our sight. You had previously sustained the livelihood of the inhabitants of Ushinara, and thus they were happy, but your condition now is the cause of their unhappiness.
O king, O hero, you were a very grateful husband and the most sincere friend of all of us. How shall we exist without you? O hero, wherever you are going, please direct us there so we may follow in your footsteps and engage again in your service. Let us go along with you.
The time was appropriate for the body to be burned, but the queens, not allowing it to be taken away, continued lamenting for the dead body, which they kept on their laps. In the meantime, the sun completed its movements for setting in the west.
While the queens were lamenting for the dead body of the king, their loud cries were heard even from the abode of Yamaraj. Assuming the body of a boy, Yamaraj personally approached the relatives of the dead body and advised them as follows.
Sri Yamaraj said, "Alas, how amazing it is! These persons who are older than me have full experience that hundreds and thousands of living entities have taken birth and died. Thus, they should understand that they are also apt to die. Yet, still they are bewildered. The conditioned soul comes from an unknown place and returns after death to that same unknown place. There is no exception to this rule, which is conducted by material nature. Knowing this, why do they uselessly lament?"
Text 38. It is wonderful that these elderly women do not have a higher sense of life than we do. Indeed, we are most fortunate, for although we are children and have been left to struggle in material life, unprotected by father and mother, and although we are very weak, we have not been vanquished or eaten by ferocious animals. Thus, we have a firm belief that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who has given us protection, even in the womb of the mother, will protect us everywhere.
The boy addressed the women. O weak women! Only by the will of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is never diminished, is the entire world created, maintained, and annihilated. This is the verdict of Vedic knowledge. This material creation, consisting of the moving and non-moving, is exactly like his plaything. Being the Supreme Lord, he is completely competent to destroy and protect.
Sometimes one loses his money on a public street where everyone can see it, and yet his money is protected by destiny and not seen by others. Thus, the man who lost it gets it back. On the other hand, if the Lord does not give protection, even money maintained very securely at home is lost. If the Supreme Lord gives one protection, even though one has no protector and is in the jungle, one remains alive, whereas a person well protected at home by relatives and others sometimes dies, no one being able to protect him.
Sure. Let's come back to verse 39. Yeah. Yes, thank you. Please repeat after me. Ya echa yeshaha srijatidam avyayo ya eva rakshati avalampate chayaha tasya balakridana mahurishitush चराचरं निग्रह संग्रहे प्रभुः य इच्छयेषः सृजतीदमव्ययो य एव रक्षति अवलुम्पते च यः तस्या बलाक्रीडनं महुरिषितुष् चराचरं निग्रह संग्रहे प्रभुः यजैषा सृजतीदमव्ययो य एव रक्षति अवलम्पते च यः तस्या बलाक्रीडनमाहुरिषितुष् चराचरं निग्रह संग्रहे प्रभु य इच्छयेषा सृजतीदमव्ययो य एव रक्षति अवलम्पते च यः तस्या बलाक्रीडनमाहुरिषितुष् चराचरं निग्रह संग्रहे प्रभुः य इच्छयेषा सृजतीदमव्ययो य एव रक्षति अवलम्पते च यः Tasya balakridanamahurishitas Characharam nigraha sangrahe prabhu. Thank you so much. Let's read the word-to-word translation together. Yaha, who, Ichaya, by his will, without being forced by anyone. Ishaha, the supreme controller. Srijati, creates. Idam, this material world. Avyayaha, remaining as he is, not having lost his own existence because of having created so many material manifestations. Yaha, who, Eva, indeed. Rakshati, maintains. Avulumpate, annihilates. Cha, also. Yaha, who. Tasya, of him. Abalaha, O poor women. Kridanam, the playing. Ahuhu, they say. Ishituhu, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Characharam, moving and not moving. Nigraha, in destruction. Sangrahe, or in protection. Prabhuhu, fully able. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The boy addressed the women. So who's the boy here? Yamaraj. O weak women, only by the will of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is never diminished, is the entire world created, maintained, and again annihilated. This is the verdict of the Vedic knowledge. This material creation, consisting of the moving and non-moving, is exactly like his plaything. Being the Supreme Lord, he is completely competent to destroy and protect. Purport. In this regard, the queens might argue, if our husband was protected by the Supreme Personality of Godhead when in the womb, why has he not been given protection now? To this question, the answer is, Ya ichchayeshaha sarjitidam avyayo ya eva rakshati avulampate chayaha. One cannot argue with the activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Lord is always free, and therefore he can protect and can also annihilate. He is not our order carrier. Whatever he likes, he will do. Therefore, he is the Supreme Lord. The Lord does not create this material world at anyone's request, and therefore he can annihilate everything merely by his will. That is his supremacy. If one argues, why does he act in this way? The answer is that he can do so because he is supreme. No one can question his activities. If one argues, what is the purpose of this sinful creation and annihilation? The answer is that to prove his omnipotence, he can do anything and no one can question him. If he were answerable to us concerning why he does something and why he does not, his supremacy would be curtailed. Very strong purport. Let's recite the invocation prayers. Om Ajnanatirmirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeyaham Shri Guru Shri Yuddha Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vansha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaitva Gatadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatate Shatarine. Hare Krishna. So, we know what's happening today. All the translations that we read. So, Hiranyakashipu is narrating a story from the past. He's actually giving very high philosophy. He's talking philosophy. And yesterday's class was really good by Dushadyumna Prabhu, and some amazing points came. So somebody who knows the highest philosophy but lacks knowledge of Krishna or does not understand that Krishna is the Supreme Lord, then that knowledge can be misused. Because even though Hiranyakashipu is talking about soul and the higher purpose and everything, but he does not consider that Vishnu or Krishna is the Supreme Personality, and anything that he does cannot be questioned. So this is not just about Hiranyakashipu, but it's a mentality that resides within all of us. We have different nature where at times we might question why is this happening in our life? Why the Lord, I worship so much, who I chant for so much, who I constantly serve, but why, he could have been a little more merciful, he could have been given me a better life or a better family. And we have so many questions that we're probably at that stage that we might not ask anybody, but probably have those questions at times. And so Hiranyakashipu is also talking great philosophy, and he's talking about this amazing story of the state of Ushinara, I believe. And he narrates an incident where a king passes away and all his wives are lamenting. So seeing this, they're lamenting so much that it is said that their cries were heard till Yamalok. And Yamaraj comes, but he does not come as himself. He appears as a young boy. Because it is said in the purport, when children speak philosophy, people are more surprised and people tend to take it more, they listen more carefully. So Amraj came as a young boy, and he was narrating that how come this is so surprising that people die all the time, and your husband just died, but the way you're lamenting is very, of course, it's very foolish. I know it sounds a little strong, but this is true. We see people dying all the time, but this is the most bewildering thing, that we think it won't come to us or our loved ones. And so he's talking to the wives, and the wives in this situation, they were completely dependent on their husband. And they say that now that you've died, oh master, who's going to take care of us? Or, this is like the end for us. And they're lamenting for so long that I think the king died during daytime. And according to Shastra, if a body passes away during daytime, it has to be cremated before sunset. And if it passes away during night, it has to be burned before sunrise. That's what the purport says. So the whole day passed, and they were still lamenting. We've heard time and again examples from Bhagavad Gita and in many lectures that we're actually crying for the cloth, because this body is really a garment of the soul. And the soul has left. But all our lives, if you think about it, we are not interacting with the soul of our loved ones. We are not interacting or nourishing the living entity, but we are attached to the body. Of course, we are attached to our own body, and that is why it expands to our loved ones, because it is like our body paraphernalia. Me, my husband, or my family, because I take them part of my identity. So that is my attachment, because I'm so attached to my own body. The attachment is so strong, and that's why the fear of losing somebody is so strong. Fear of losing my fame, my identity, my loved one is so strong because it is deep rooted. The attachment is very deeply rooted. And hence, death, even though we know theoretically as a concept, it's very difficult to accept when it comes. And that is why we are constantly doing this Shravanam. We are constantly hearing about the higher purpose, because as humans, we tend to forget. We need time and again reminders. You know, in India, it's a common tradition when somebody dies, you know, there is after 13th day, and like there's some ceremony. And even though people have not heard about Bhagavad Gita throughout their lives, but in that ceremony, people talk about Bhagavad Gita. And they talk about the second chapter, that the soul cannot be burned, it cannot be slain, it cannot be killed, and you know, everything. But it's only that day people actually think about it, and you know, they are forced to get enlightened. But after that they forget again. And maybe for us also, right? There are constant reminders, but still we forget that, okay, my purpose is actually to connect this living entity, this soul, to the super soul. And so Yamaraj, as a young boy, is explaining them that this was the will of the Lord. And the counter question could be, okay, if why would the Lord want to kill our husband? Or, you know, questions that people usually ask, and you might have heard from people, because since you're devotees, people might come and ask you, okay, you know, why does Lord do these things where innocent people are dying and they are being killed, and, you know, why are sad or like unpleasant things happening? Why did he create this world where there is dukh? Why can't be only sukh there? So this is a very common question, but you know, it's very difficult to sometimes answer people in the one-liner. It's more like a big concept that the purpose of this material world is not for our enjoyment. The purpose of this material world, or the purpose of me coming here, is not to enjoy. First of all, and that sounds, to other people, it might sound like, okay, then we have to just be sad and suffering, but that's really the case, because this material world is full of suffering. And that's the reminder. But we wanted to come here and enjoy independent of the Lord. And because Krishna is so kind that he fulfills our desires. I mean, you know, we have that free will where if we want to be away from the Lord, Bahirmukha, we want to be away, then he will provide. Imagine, he's such a wonderful provider that he will provide even if we want to be away from him. We want to go away from him. But constantly there will be reminders to our consciousness that this is not best for us. This is not what we really want. We want to be loved. We actually want to depend on somebody who knows best for us. Just like a small child, when he's crossing the road, would he make so much efforts to look either ways and be like, okay, now I need to cross, now I need to step back? Or would he just hold the hand of his father and, you know, be completely careless, like, I can do whatever I want, my father is just holding my hand, I know he will take care of me? That's the faith a child has on his father. But why is that faith there? Because he knows his father. Because he knows that his father is his well-wisher. He will take care of him at any cost. That kind of surrender will only come when we know about our Supreme Father, his nature, about him, that he's so merciful, he will never do anything wrong to us, or he will not let anything happen that is not good for us. He's the supreme controller. Do you think he cannot protect? Right now, there could have been so many calamities or impediments coming in your life, but we are not able to see it. But Krishna or Nrsimhadev is protecting us from that. He is. We cannot see that. Our Gurudev, our Srila Prabhupada, they are protecting us from this, you know, what do we call this? Jwala Agni, this Maya, the blazing fire of Maya. So, this concept of Rakhe Krishna mare Krishna rakhe ke. If Krishna wants to kill somebody, nobody can protect him. Nobody. But if Krishna wants to protect someone, nobody can kill him. What examples come to your mind from Srimad Bhagavatam? Prahlad Maharaj. Who else? Draupadi, Pandavas, Hiranyakashipu. He did so much penances, and what were the benedictions he asked from Brahma? I don't want to be killed during day. Today, Gopal Prabhu was talking about this in Mangalarti reading. That I don't want to be killed during day and night, outside the house, inside the house, with weapon or so many things. What else did he ask? I don't want to be killed by demigods, the demon. Yes, not day and night. Yes, not on land, not in the ground or in the sky. He thought he covered everything. Like he was being such a, oh, I'm so intelligent, you know. Nobody can kill me. Nobody can kill me. I'm going to be immortal. And one day I will kill Vishnu. That was his entire purpose. Because he wanted to take revenge for his brother's death, Hiranyaksha. And Brahma, so-called, like he's a follower of Vishnu, right? He's a devotee. And when Nrsimhadev appeared, he did take care of everything. Like he did take care that even Brahma's blessings would not go waste. But even Brahma could not protect his follower, Hiranyakashipu. Nrsimhadev, just with his nails, he tore apart Hiranyakashipu's body. Why? Because he wanted to protect Prahlad. Like, nobody could protect Hiranyakashipu and nobody could kill Prahlad. These wonderful stories, this is happening, of perfect example that Krishna wanted to protect his devotee, and anybody who would commit offenses, who would torture Krishna's devotee, Krishna will never forgive that person. So if Krishna wanted to kill Hiranyakashipu, he did. In Mahabharata, how many times Pandavas were attacked or the conspiracies were done? You can't even count. So many times. The house of wax where, you know, all of them were sent. Safe house. It was supposed to be a safe house. And it was burned down, right? A little bit of fire or matchstick could have, just because it's made of wax, lac. So, but the Pandavas were saved. Bhima was poisoned when he was a child. What an amazing story that he was thrown in the water and he came in contact with the snakes who had the ability to take out that particular poison, right? I think it was a counter reaction. And Bhima was saved. And Draupadi, in that assembly of so-called Kshatriyas who are supposed to protect people. Now think about it. Kshatriyas are, like, according to our Shastra, they are they're supposed to protect people. And Draupadi was was a queen, and she was the wife of the Pandavas. She was not protected by the strongest, most potent Kshatriyas. And she tried to hold on to her clothes when she was being disrobed. But she was trying, she was struggling, and then she realized she cannot do anything. And she raised her hands, calling out to Govinda. And Krishna came. Now you see from this, you know, we spend lifetimes for that one moment of calling out to Krishna with real love and real intention. But Krishna comes in just 1 second. Even if you spend your lifetimes not remembering him, but this one moment, if you remember him, he will come. That is assured. But the cry has to be real. The cry has to be, Krishna, I really need you. I just want to serve you, and you're the only person that who can protect me. And Krishna listens. When is the other time, this amazing pastime where Vishnu comes to save his devotee, Gajendra. He calls out. He has this remembrance. He suddenly remembers the Lord. And Krishna doesn't see if an animal is calling me, or it's not like animals cannot remember the Lord. I mean, there can be some mercy on them. And Vishnu came. I heard this one narration, it was so amazing that Vishnu came before Garuda. Like Garuda is the vehicle of Vishnu. And he comes on, sitting on the back of Garuda. You know, Krishna comes always in style, like he has some entry. And that time, Gajendra was instantly calling, and Vishnu didn't wear his slippers. He didn't, like his patka, like his usual way of coming. He didn't wait to sit on Garuda. He came even before Garuda. And Garuda was thinking, I have done disservice, like I could not bring the Lord on time. But he came and he saved his devotee. So, like, just think about it, that what does it take for us to call out the Lord? Money, beauty, strength, fame, respect, none of this. Even a person who's murkha, like who has, like we call Jad Bharat, but of course he was the most knowledgeable, but somebody who has no intelligence, material world intelligence, who has no beauty, no friends, nothing, no money, you can just, your tongue is there, even if you can't say it, but you can chant and you can remember the Lord, and the Lord will appear. He will come. Actually, He's already there within us. We cannot see it, we cannot hear Him. There's this one amazing song by Janvi Harrison, Rise. So there's this line that comes, someone's knocking on the door from the inside. So it's like Paramatma, you know, constantly giving us the reminder that, hey, listen to me, you know. But we have to create access to be able to listen to the Lord. And that access is through Shastra, Guru and Sadhu. It's not, okay, I just sit by myself and I think Lord is telling me to go right. Okay, Lord is telling me to do this. Okay, let me, think. No, that could be our speculation. So the best way is to be with sadhus. Listen to Shastra, Shravanam and Guru. But the Shravanam part helps you get a Guru, because you understand who is the right Guru. And Shravanam actually leads to the last stage, which is Atmanivedan, the surrender. But it all starts with Shravanam. Anything, because our mind, our consciousness could go either way. But what shapes our consciousness is what we are hearing all the time. Prahlad Maharaj was preached where? Inside the womb of his mother, Kayadu. Right? In the womb. Through Narad Muni, Sadhu, who is a guru. And Prahlad is born as a pure devotee, because he does Shravanam. For 9 months he's hearing. I don't know for how long, but he hears, right? He's listening. And he's born as a pure devotee. So, you can start preaching when the child is in the womb. That's the real message. That's the real proof of how devotion can start with Shravanam. So, all the examples where the devotees have been saved by the Lord, what is the common thing between Draupadi, Pandavas, Gajendra, Prahlad? They called out with desperation and with full surrender. It's not like, oh Krishna, if you come, it'll be great. And then, He protects us. Oh, it's okay even if you don't come. Like sometimes, it's like, Krishna, please, I'm really looking for this thing. I'm panicking at the house, looking for this. Krishna, please help me. And when you find it, there's some story somebody was saying, and that guy found it, like, oh, never mind, I found it. Never mind, Lord, I found it. But we forget that how real sometimes Krishna reciprocates. He really reciprocates. It's like radio frequency. How can you hear it when the frequency is there? So mercy also you will understand when your recipient frequency is there. You're chanting and you're in association of devotees, and you can really understand the mercy of the Lord. A devotee will feel grateful waking up in the morning also, like, Krishna, thank you so much. This is your mercy. Thank you so much that I'm able to come to have your darshan. Coming for Guru Puja or Mangala Aarti or chanting, it's a big thing. It's becoming common for us, like we come, like, somebody was saying the other day, here on the Vyasas, Krishna is our neighbor. Kalachandji is our neighbor, we can anytime go and have darshan, no, what is the big deal? But wait, there are people sometimes get sick and are not able to come to temple for months. So devotees have experienced that, right? I was sick for some time on bed rest because of my back pain, and I was not able to come for 2 weeks, and it felt like real Krishna's power, that there are small things. When Bhagavad Gita, Krishna, it said, right, even a blade of grass cannot move without the will of the Lord. So one thing we need to understand is that we need to call out with desperation. This is simple. Krishna consciousness is simple business. Just loving God with pure sincerity. I know it takes time to build that purity, but that's all we have to do. Sincerity and determination. Right? I think in yesterday's class it was mentioned that determination, what you do on daily basis, your discipline, that strengthens your relationship with the Lord. And also if we understand that as a child, my father always wants what is best for me. So it's not that our surrenderance should diminish when things don't go our way. Krishna is not our order carrier, right? He's not, okay, Vrinda wants this, let me do this. Okay, now Krishna didn't listen to me, so I'm like, oh Krishna, my faith is decreasing. No, he's not our order carrier. Like every day we come and if we say, Krishna, give me this, give me that. Or if you just sometimes, I'm sure great devotees have experienced this. All of you might have sometime experienced. Sometimes when you come to Kalachandji and you don't want to ask anything, you just feel like, hey, you're so beautiful, Krishna. And sometimes you might feel, Krishna, I'm sorry for, just sometimes you just feel apologetic that I don't know how fallen I am. Or there might be different things where you're not asking something from the Lord, but you want to give Him something. That's the stage that we need to come to, that we want to give something to the Lord. It might not be full surrenderance right now. It takes time. It's a gradual process. It's a journey. But if you just come and have His darshan and you just like, Krishna, I just love being here. Please keep engaging me in your service. So just every day something that you can give to the Lord or communicate. You talk to Him. So there's this bhajan, right? Bhakti Vinod Thakur says that Maro bhi rakho bhi jo ichha tohar, which means stay with me or slay me or protect me as you wish. You are the master of your eternal servant. That bhav is very high, but Krishna, kill me, protect me, whatever you want to do. It's your ichha, tohar ichha. But I am just your eternal servant. May I never forget this. May I always remember that you are my master. You are my friend. You are my well-wisher. And if you think about it, deep down, this is what we really want. We keep praying to Krishna. If you think about it, somebody prays, oh Krishna, I miss having a friend. I miss having a lover. Like I want to be in a good relationship. I want to be loved by someone. Essence is, this is our, deep down, this is our desire. We want to be loved. We want to love someone. We want to share our secrets with somebody. We want to have a good relationship with someone. And that someone is who we are actually praying to. That's Krishna, who can be that someone. So let's pause here and open for questions, realizations, anything anybody wants to share. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much for a wonderful class. I like the analogy that you spoke about the father, the child holding the hands of father. Also, I liked it was like a wake up call for me because I tend to keep postponing the surrender. Okay, I'll chant attentively maybe next time. So that was a wake up call. And the last thing you mentioned was really nice. That struck me that when we go before the deities, we have to, why not just think of offering something to the Lord instead of asking, right? That was very thoughtful. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Any questions? Or any realization?
Hare Krishna, thank you for a nice class. So in the examples like Prahlad and Draupadi, they surrender and they ask and they are rescued. But in some cases it may be good for us to die. It may be good for us to get that difficulty. I mean, not like, and we're not in Kunti's stage where we're like, okay, bring on difficulties. So how do we know what to pray even? Like if something is coming, okay, this is difficult, but maybe this is what I need, right?
That's true. We don't know what's best for us. We can be praying for the wrong things. And that's why devotees say, Krishna, whatever you desire, if you so desire, sometimes we have a desire and we say, Krishna, if you so desire, if it's something that you want, then, please make this happen. But when we don't know what should we pray for, then we just pray to Krishna, Krishna, you know my best. I know whatever you're going to do will be good.
Like
but
yeah, I mean, I was giving another two examples which we don't talk about so much. Where Haridas Thakur, when he was ready, he was like, okay, so he didn't try to save himself or like, oh, you're Acharya, you should keep going on after me. Or that boy, Srivasa's boy who died when
Mahaprabhu was
so they didn't try, oh, this is the time of Mahaprabhu, you should live in this time, this is the golden age. No, he was ready to go and Mahaprabhu was like, okay, fine. So we always say, you should try to protect your body till the, last minute. This is what has been given to you. But these are examples also where Mahaprabhu was like, yeah, it's time for you to go. We don't discuss those angles so much, I feel. I mean,
so what I think is, firstly, we act according to our nature, what comes naturally to me, not, okay, Haridas Thakur was like, okay, beat me to the 29 places. He didn't do, but so many people were there, he couldn't have probably protected himself. And his consciousness was, Krishna, please forgive them because they don't know what they are doing. He was praying for them while he was being beaten up. But that was Haridas Thakur's consciousness. In Draupadi's situation, she was still trying to protect. And then she was like, okay, Krishna, whatever you want. But she said, save me, Govinda, she called out. So if we act according to our nature, that somebody said that even if you don't know what to, like, just be real with Krishna. Be real. Like, we hear gopis have the bhav that they didn't care, family, anything, always ran to, serve Krishna. We don't have that bhav right now. I can't be like, I will not feed my husband, because Krishna is my husband. Like, I cannot have that bhav because I'm not there. It's not natural for me. So first thing could be what comes naturally to me. Let me be real in Krishna consciousness. Let me be, okay, what is my situation right now? Let me act according to it. But also, whatever has to happen is the will of the Lord. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to save, he picked up Haridas Thakur, he wanted to save, he saved, or he wanted to save Gajendra, he came and he protected Gajendra, he protected Draupadi. So that thing we have to leave on Krishna. That what is the result, or what is, like Sarva Dharman Parityaja, like Krishna will come and save us, Krishna will protect us. But we need to give up first. Like, we need to give up our attachment, our small, faiths, or small attachments. I hope I'm able to help with that. So, our nature.
Thank you. Yeah, you said act according to our nature. So, and be real with Krishna, you said.
Yeah.
So that is, I think.
Yes. So
we have to know where we're at and then be realistic when we're asking Krishna for whatever we want.
Right.
So that was very helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, and it's hard to be real because it's like, okay, everybody is nice, everybody's devotee. Sometimes we also, we force a growth. We don't need to force our growth. Let's go gradually, whatever is real, and gradually gives more satisfaction. If you start pretending, it's said in Bhagavad Gita, 3rd chapter, that even a sweeper on, sweeping the streets, but he does his job very nicely, is better than a pujari on the altar who is doing it superficially. Krishna will love the sweeper more because he's doing his job more authentically. But if somebody is on the altar and doing it only, okay, I get to be on the altar and not doing service sincerely, Krishna will not be pleased with that. So sincerity, time and again, is stressed out. That is really important. And leave the reaction on Krishna. He will take care of it. Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Hey Krishna.
Thank you so much. Thank you, really. I just wanted to say that I am always inspired and your words are always very encouraging and really remind me that we are all, I am emotional. I just make me remember and reinforce the idea that we are in God's hands all the time. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for that wonderful. This is so nice, right? That purity, that when we hear about Krishna, our heart melts. It's Krishna's mercy. Because we're actually missing that, right? We miss that connection. That's the reason every time we hear people saying, I'm so dissatisfied, I don't have peace, I don't feel contentment, because we're giving all of this with expecting it with other people. So thank you so much for sharing. Krishna. Yes, Prabhuji.
One last thing.
Yes.
I could see, it is said when the speaker is speaking through the intelligence, then that appeals to the intelligence of the audience. But if the speaker is speaking to the heart, then that penetrates the hearts of the audience. Thank you.
Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Krishna. I think I feel more inspired by all of you. That's the truth. Yes. Should we wrap up? Jai. Vansha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyaiva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Anant koti Vaishnav Bhakt Vrind ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai.